When it comes to survival, luck has nothing to do with it. It's all about skill. One small mistake in the wild, during a natural disaster, or even on a routine outdoor adventure can flip your world upside down. Hunger, injuries, harsh weather, or simply losing your way. These are the silent threats that catch most people off guard. And the harsh reality, most of us aren't ready for them. Let's be honest, modern life has made us comfortable, maybe too comfortable. We've grown dependent on grocery stores, apps, and the promise of instant help. But what happens when all of that vanishes? When there's no signal, no rescue team on the way, and no one to rely on but yourself? In those moments, your survival hinges on one thing: your ability to adapt. Your knowledge, instincts, and calmness under pressure become your lifeline. That's why learning survival skills isn't just a hobby, it's a necessity. These 12 essential skills could mean the difference between life and death. From finding clean water to starting a fire, building a shelter, and navigating without GPS. These aren't just nice-to-know tricks, they're critical tools for staying alive. Ready to ditch the unprepared mindset and take control? Let's dive into the 12 survival skills everyone should master before it's too late. 1. Building a fire. Anywhere. The ultimate survival skill. Fire isn't just a survival tool, it's your lifeline. Yet, most people underestimate its importance until they're shivering in the cold, staring at damp wood, and realizing they have no idea what to do. Let's be brutally honest. Fire is not a luxury in survival situations. It's the difference between life and death. It keeps you warm, cooks your food, purifies your water, and even keeps predators at bay. But here's the kicker. Relying on a single lighter or a box of matches is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Why? Because matches get wet, lighters run out of fuel, and batteries die. If you're counting on luck, you're already setting yourself up for failure. True survivalists know that fire starting is a skill, not a convenience. You need to be able to create fire in any condition: rain, snow, wind, or even with damp materials. This is what separates amateurs from those who are truly prepared. The key to mastering fire starting is redundancy. Always carry multiple methods: waterproof matches, a reliable lighter, fire starter cubes, and even a ferro rod. And don't forget about friction-based techniques like a bow drill or hand drill. These might take practice, but they're invaluable when modern tools fail. Want a pro tip? Keep a piece of steel wool and a small battery in your kit. Touch the two together, and you've got an instant spark, even in wet conditions. But it's not just about having the tools, you need to know how to use them. Practice starting a fire in less than ideal conditions. Wet wood, strip off the outer layers to find dry material inside. Windy day, build a windbreak with rocks or logs, and always carry dry tinder in a waterproof container. Cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly work wonders. Fire isn't just physical, it's psychological. In a survival situation, seeing those flames can calm your nerves and give you a sense of control. Panic is the real killer, and fire is your antidote. So invest in a solid fire starting kit. They're cheap, often under $10, but they're worth their weight in gold. And remember, practice makes perfect. Don't wait for an emergency to figure it out. Mastering fire starting now could save your life later. 2. Finding and purifying water. The non-negotiable survival skill. Water is the MVP of survival. You can go weeks without food, but without water, you're looking at just a few days, maybe even hours in extreme conditions. Yet, most people are shockingly unprepared when it comes to finding and purifying water in a survival scenario. They think, oh, I'll just drink from a stream or a puddle if I have to. Wrong. That's the fastest way to get sick or worse. Here's the harsh truth. Contaminated water is one of the leading causes of death in survival situations. Bacteria, parasites, and viruses can turn a single sip into a nightmare. Giardia, dysentery, and other waterborne illnesses can leave you dehydrated, weak, and unable to think clearly. Exactly what you don't need when your life is on the line. So what's the solution? First, you need to know how to find water. Look for natural sources like streams, rivers, or even dew on plants. In arid environments, follow animal tracks or look for birds. They often lead to water, but finding water is only half the battle. Purifying it is where most people fail. Boiling is the gold standard for purification, but it's not always practical. That's why you need backup methods. Carry a portable water filter. It's lightweight, easy to use, and can remove most contaminants. Purification tablets are another must-have. They're cheap, effective, and take up almost no space in your kit. And don't overlook DIY methods like cloth filtration or using charcoal to remove impurities. Storage is just as important as purification. A collapsible water bladder, stainless steel bottle, or even a simple mason jar can keep your water safe and portable. Always have a backup container in case one gets damaged. And here's a pro tip. Keep your purification tools in a waterproof pouch. The last thing you want is to open your kit and find soggy, useless tablets. Water is survival's non-negotiable. It keeps your body functioning, your mind sharp, and your energy levels high. And the best part, preparing for water emergencies is cheap. A basic filter or a pack of tablets costs under $20. But don't wait. Demand for survival gear is rising, and prices are climbing. The time to prepare is now, because in a real emergency, every drop counts. 3. Basic first aid, your lifeline in a crisis. Injuries don't wait for help to arrive, and neither should you. Whether it's a small cut, a sprain, or something more serious like a broken bone, knowing basic first aid can mean the difference between a minor inconvenience and a life-threatening situation. Yet, most people completely underestimate the importance of first aid in survival scenarios. Here's the thing. Small injuries can spiral out of control if not treated properly. A simple scrape can become infected. A sprain can turn into a mobility issue, and a burn can lead to serious complications if left untreated. That's why a well-stocked first aid kit isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. But here's where most people go wrong. They buy a cheap kit, toss it in their bag, and forget about it. Then when they actually need it, they find dried-out antiseptic wipes, brittle bandages, or missing tool. Don't be that person. Invest in a quality kit and check it regularly. Make sure it includes essentials like pain relievers, antiseptic, tweezers, scissors, and a variety of bandages. Learning how to use your kit is just as important as having one. Do you know how to apply a splint, dress a wound, perform CPR? These aren't optional skills, they're survival essentials. Take a basic first aid course, or watch tutorials online. The knowledge you gain could save a life, maybe even your own. Storage is another critical factor. Keep your kit in a waterproof pouch or hard case to protect it from the elements. And don't stop at one kit. Have a smaller, portable version in your backpack, car, or even your desk drawer. That way you're never caught unprepared. The best part, first aid prep is affordable. A solid starter kit costs under $20 and you can build on it over time. But don't wait. Demand for survival gear is driving prices up. And remember, supplies expire. Rotate them regularly to ensure everything is in working order when you need it most. First aid isn't just about treating injuries, it's about preventing small problems from becoming big ones. In a survival situation, that can make all the difference. So take the time to prepare, because when disaster strikes, you won't get a second chance. 4. Navigation without GPS. The forgotten survival skill. Getting lost is one of the fastest ways to turn a fun adventure into a life or death situation. And yet, most people rely entirely on GPS, assuming it will always work. Newsflash, technology fails, batteries die, signals drop, and suddenly you're completely blind in the wilderness. If you don't know how to navigate without tech, you're putting yourself at serious risk. Navigation is about more than just finding your way. It's about staying calm and conserving energy. Panic leads to poor decisions, and poor decisions can be fatal. That's why learning basic navigation skills is essential. Start with the basics. Reading a map and compass. These tools are reliable, lightweight, and don't require battery. Learn how to orient yourself using landmarks, the sun, or even the stars. But navigation isn't just about tools, it's about awareness. Pay attention to your surroundings. Notice terrain patterns, follow streams downstream, and look for natural markers like distinctive trees or rock formation. These simple tricks can guide you back to safety when all else fails. Storage is simple but critical. A small compass fits in your pocket, and a waterproof map takes up almost no space. Keep them in a protective case to prevent damage. And don't forget to knowing how to use your tools in theory is one thing, using them under stress is another. The good news, navigation gear is affordable. A reliable compass and map combo costs under $15, but as survival gear gains popularity, prices are climbing. Don't wait until it's too late to prepare. And here's a pro tip, always have a backup. Even the best tools can fail, so knowing how to navigate using natural methods is a skill worth mastering. Navigation isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It keeps you calm, focused, and in control when everything else feels uncertain. So ditch the over-reliance on GPS and start learning the basics. Because when technology fails, your survival depends on you. 5. Building a shelter. Your first line of defense against the elements. When it comes to survival, most people focus on fire and food. But here's the brutal truth. Exposure kills faster than hunger. Hypothermia, heat stroke, relentless rain, or a freezing night can turn a manageable situation into a life-threatening disaster in just hours. And yet, shelter is one of the most overlooked survival priorities. Many people don't think about it until it's too late, and by then, the damage is already done. A proper shelter isn't just about staying dry. It's about conserving energy, maintaining body heat, and protecting your mental state. When the elements are relentless, a simple lean-to made from branches, a debris hut, or a tarp rigged in minutes can mean the difference between shivering all night and getting the rest you need to think clearly the next day. Shelter is your first line of defense against the environment, and it's a skill you can't afford to ignore. Here's where most survival guides get it wrong. They overcomplicate shelter building. You don't need to construct an elaborate log cabin or spend hours perfecting a design. What you need is something practical, reliable, and quick to set up under pressure. A compact tarp, some paracord, and a lightweight emergency blanket are all you need to create a durable shelter in almost any environment. Add a small folding saw or multi-tool to your kit, and you'll be able to cut branches or stakes to secure your setup. Preparation is key. Keep your shelter materials dry and stored in a waterproof bag. A soggy tarp or wet rope isn't just useless, it's a hazard. And don't wait for an emergency to practice. Learn how to set up a tarp shelter in different configurations, like an A-frame or a lean-to, so you're ready for any situation. The best part, a basic shelter kit is incredibly affordable. You can assemble one for under $30, and if you shop smart, tarps and cordage cost less than $1 per use. But don't procrastinate. Demand for survival gear is skyrocketing, and prices for even basic items like tarps have jumped nearly 50%. Waiting could cost you double or worse, leave you unprepared when you need it most. Shelter isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Master this skill and you'll have a critical edge when the elements are working against you. 6. Signaling for help. The skill that gets you found. Survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about being found. You could have a fire roaring, a sturdy shelter and enough food to last for days, but none of it matters if no one knows where you are. That's where signaling comes in, and it's a skill that far too many people underestimate. The truth is, signaling for help can be the difference between a quick rescue and being stranded for days or worse. The good news, signaling doesn't have to be complicated. Simple tools like whistles, mirrors, flares, or even brightly colored fabric can turn a lost hiker into a rescued survivor. Fire is another powerful signal. A smoky blaze during the day or flickering flames at night can catch the attention of rescuers from miles away. But here's the catch, signaling isn't just about visibility, it's about timing, technique, and making yourself impossible to miss. Preparation is everything. Keep a small emergency whistle on a lanyard around your neck. It's lightweight, loud, and easy to use. A signal mirror tucked into your backpack can reflect sunlight and send a flash visible for miles. Flares are another must-have, especially in low visibility conditions like fog or heavy rain. Even a bright bandana or reflective tape can be life-saving if used correctly. The key is to have these items ready to go and easy to grab in a hurry. Fumbling for your gear when every second counts could be fatal. Storage is simple but critical. Keep your signaling tools in a waterproof container to protect them from the elements. And don't just carry them, practice using. Learn how to aim a signal mirror, how to create a smoky fire, and when to use a whistle versus a flare. The more familiar you are with your tools, the faster and more effectively you can use them in an emergency. The cost of signaling gear is minimal compared to its value. A quality whistle and mirror combo costs less than $10, while flares run around $5 to $15 each. Reflective tape and bandanas are pennies per use, but with natural disasters driving up demand, prices are climbing. Some items nearly doubled in cost last season, so don't wait to Signaling is your lifeline to the outside world. Master this skill, and you'll dramatically increase your chances of being found when it matters most. 7. Foraging for food. Nature's hidden buffet. When people think about survival, food is often one of the first things that comes to mind. But here's the reality. Food in a survival situation isn't just about filling your stomach, it's about keeping your energy, focus, and strength up. And while most people panic at the thought of going without groceries, the truth is, nature provides. You just need to know where to look. Foraging for food is a skill that's often overlooked, but it can literally keep you alive. Edible plants, nuts, berries, and even insects are all around us, offering crucial nutrients when supplies run out. The key is knowing what's safe to eat, how to prepare it, and how to avoid poisonous lookalikes. A single mistake, like eating the wrong berry, can turn a survival situation into a medical emergency. Start by learning a handful of common edible plants in your region. Dandelions, clover, and cattails are just a few examples of plants that are widely available and easy to identify. Nuts like acorns can be processed to remove bitterness, and berries like blackberries or raspberries are often safe to eat. And don't underestimate insects. High in protein and almost always available, they're one of the easiest sources of calories in the wild. Storage and preparation are just as important as identification. Keep a small field guide in your backpack to help you identify edible species. A cloth bag or container for collecting your finds is essential. And if you're picking plants or nuts, make sure they're clean and dry before storing them. Nothing ruins a good survival meal like mold or contamination. The best part? Foraging is essentially free. Mother Nature does the heavy lifting. A small investment in a field guide or a beginner foraging kit costs under $20, but the knowledge you gain is priceless. However, with more people learning survival skills, specialty guides and kits have jumped 10–15% in the last year. Don't wait to prepare. Foraging isn't just about food, it's about self-reliance. Master this skill, and you'll never look at the wilderness the same way again. 8. Self-defense basics. Protecting yourself when it matters most. Survival isn't just about battling the element. Sometimes the biggest threats come from what you can't control: wild animals, aggressive strangers, or even panicked people in a disaster. That's why self-defense basics are non-negotiable. Knowing how to protect yourself instantly changes the odds in your favor. Here's the good news: you don't need to be a martial arts expert to defend yourself. Simple techniques can go a long way. Learn how to break free from a grab, use leverage instead of strength, and turn everyday objects into defensive tools. A tactical flashlight, for example, can temporarily blind an attacker, giving you time to escape. Even a sturdy stick or rock can be a lifesaver if used correctly. But self-defense isn't just physical, it's mental. Situational awareness is your first line of defense. Pay attention to your surroundings, trust your instincts, and anticipate potential threats before they escalate. Think of it as mental armor that backs up your physical skills. In a survival situation, that combination is gold. Storage is minimal. A small tactical flashlight, a whistle, or a personal alarm fits in any pocket or bag. If local laws allow, pepper spray or a compact stun device adds another layer of protection. The key is accessibility. Keep your tools within reach and practice using them, so you're ready to act when it matters most. The cost of self-defense prep is surprisingly low. Basic tools and training can cost as little as $10 to $20, and free online resources make it easy to practice techniques at home. But don't wait. Rising demand for survival and personal defense gear has pushed prices up about 12% in the last year. If you wait, even simple, reliable tools could cost significantly more. Self-defense isn't just about fighting, it's about survival. Master this skill, and you'll be ready to face whatever challenges come your way. 9. Purifying air and avoiding hazards. Survival isn't just about food, water, and shelter. It's also about the air you breathe. Most people underestimate how quickly bad air can become a life-threatening issue. Smoke from wildfires, chemical fumes, mold spores, or even polluted water vapor can harm you faster than hunger or cold ever could. Breathing clean air is essential for keeping your body functioning and your mind sharp, especially when every decision could mean the difference between life and death. The good news, protecting your lungs doesn't require expensive or complicated gear. A high-quality respirator mask is a great investment, but even simple tools like bandanas or improvised cloth filters can provide a surprising level of protection. When smoke, dust, or other airborne irritants are unavoidable, these items can be lifesavers. However, it's not just about having the right tools, it's also about awareness. Recognizing hazards, like gas leaks, unstable structures, or toxic plants, can prevent emergencies before they even start. Awareness is your first line of defense. Storage for air purifying tools is straightforward. Keep masks and filters in a dry, easily accessible pouch. Bandanas or cloth should be stored clean and ready for immediate use. Even small items like goggles can make a huge difference when facing airborne debris or irritants. A well-prepared kit doesn't take up much space but can save you hours or even your life in a crisis. When it comes to cost, basic respiratory protection is surprisingly affordable. You can find masks and filters for as little as $5 with higher quality options under. However, prices are rising. Last year alone, the cost of these items jumped 14%, and demand is only increasing. Waiting to stock up could mean paying double for the same protection. Don't sleep on this one. Clean air is non-negotiable in survival situations. 10. Knots and rope skills. Rope might seem like a basic tool, but in survival situations, it's one of the most versatile and underrated items you can have. From building shelters to securing gear, climbing, or even performing emergency rescues, knowing how to use rope effectively can literally save your life. Yet most people only know one or two basic knots, leaving them unprepared when seconds count. Mastering a handful of essential knots, like the bowline, clove hitch, and square knot, can unlock a world of possibilities. These knots allow you to secure shelter, create traps, haul supplies, or even perform first aid without relying on brute strength. Rope skills don't just add convenience. They multiply the usefulness of almost every other tool in your survival kit. A simple cord becomes a lifeline when you know how to use it correctly. Storage is simple. A bundle of paracord or climbing rope in a compact dry bag is all you need. Keep it coiled and tangle-free for quick access. Even a few yards of cord in your pocket can turn into a life-saving tool in the right hands. Quality rope is lightweight, durable, and infinitely versatile, making it an essential part of any survival kit. Price-wise, a good 50-foot paracord costs under $10, and you can often find multi-packs for even less. However, with paracord and climbing gear trending among outdoor enthusiasts, prices have risen nearly 12% in the past year. Waiting to buy could mean paying more for the basics that could save your life. Don't underestimate the value of rope skills. They're simple to learn, but can make a world of difference when it matters most. 11. Tracking and observation skills. Being able to read your surroundings is one of the most overlooked survival skills, but it's absolutely critical. Most people walk through the wilderness blind, not because they can't see, but because they don't know what to look for. Tracks, broken branches, bird calls, or even subtle changes in terrain can provide vital information about where to go, what's nearby, and when danger is approaching. Tracking and observation skills help you find food, follow water sources, and avoid threats like wild animals or unstable terrain. Even basic awareness, like noticing fresh tracks or listening for unusual sounds, can give you a life-saving edge. It's not just about seeing, it's about interpreting the environment and acting before problems escalate. This skill sharpens your instincts and helps you stay one step ahead of potential dangers. The best part: You don't need much gear to develop these skills. A small notebook and pencil can help you record patterns or mark trails, while binoculars or a simple magnifying glass can enhance your observation. Keep these items in an easy-to-grab pouch and practice using them during everyday walks or hikes. The more you practice, the sharper your instincts will become. Price-wise, a basic field notebook, pencil and small binoculars can cost under $20, with starter setups available for as little as $5. However, as survival prep becomes more popular, specialty observation tools have seen a 10% price increase in the past year. Now is the time to grab the basics before prices climb further. Tracking and observation skills might not sound flashy, but they're invaluable when it comes to staying safe and finding your way in the wild. 12. Mental resilience and staying calm. Survival isn't just physical, it's mental. In fact, your mindset can be the difference between making it through and giving up entirely. Panic, fear, and indecision kill faster than hunger, cold, or injury. Staying calm and thinking clearly under pressure is arguably the most important survival skill of all, yet it's the one most people neglect. Mental resilience isn't about pretending you're fearless. It's about controlling your reactions, prioritizing tasks, and staying focused when everything around you is chaos. Simple techniques like deep breathing, mental checklists, and small routines can keep you grounded. Even a mantra like one step at a time can stop panic from taking over and help you make life-saving decisions. The beauty of mental resilience is that it doesn't require any fancy tools. However, practice is key. Visualize scenarios, role-play emergencies, or even meditate for a few minutes a day. Think of it as mental gear. It's always with you, never wears out, and its value skyrockets in real crises. A sharp, calm mind makes every other survival skill far more effective. Price-wise, this skill is priceless. It costs nothing to practice daily, yet the payoff is enormous. As disasters and unexpected emergencies rise worldwide, the demand for mental resilience training is climbing. Even workshops and guides are becoming more expensive year by year. Don't wait until it's too late to develop this skill. It's the foundation of survival.